Let's go, baby.
Off the turn, they're 3 wide.
Battle for the lead as Pitcock gets out of shape.
Bottom shot, 3 wide.
He takes the lead back. Dynamite racing.
Welcome everyone to Stafford Speedway. It's week 6 of the 2023 season and it's headlined by the SK Modified Senators Cup. So we'll start this edition of the pit preview in the SK Modified pits where Kyle Rickey standing by with our defending winner of the event.
In bonds to that driver is David Root, picking up the checkered flag in the Senators Cup a year ago. And before we talk about the special event that is going to happen here tonight for the SK Modifieds, let's talk about your season. Looks like you're finally getting things turned around. A 6th place effort last week. Still looking for that first top 5 finish of the season.
Yeah, definitely getting things turned around. Had a rough first couple of weeks with overheating the engine. So we were chasing that for 3 weeks. Then we're finally getting to work on the car again. We got it turned around. I believe we got it, what, a 6th, and then another top 10 run the week before, but then it got cut short when we got caught up in an accident. So we're making gains. So hopefully tonight we make a big improvement.
Let's talk about the Senators Cup. Born in 1970, ran for more than a decade, came back to the Speedway a couple of years ago. What were the thoughts about bringing this event back in, what, 2020?
Yeah, it was just an exciting event that we had. It's a historical event, and we actually got the Senator involved and everything. So it was just a unique event to bring back for the SK Modifieds. And hopefully it puts on a great show tonight and with great weather.
How special was it to win it a year ago?
Yeah, I was surprised, actually, because that was my first long-distance win. So that was pretty exciting, and the car was great that night, so hopefully we could come back tonight, repeat, win, and go back-to-back for the Senators Cup.
Best of luck to you here tonight.
Thank you.
That's David Root looking for his 2nd consecutive Senators Cup win. One driver looking for his first Stafford win is with Monza.
Kyle, our most recent new finisher in the SK Modified podium is Mikey Flynn after finishing 3rd last Friday night. And you've been in this division for, what, 3 years now, since 2020? It's been quite a road to get here, but what does it mean for you and the team to finally get that first podium out of the way?
It's almost like a huge burden off our back, you know. We keep getting better and better this year. We added Stash Butova to the team, and, you know, we got a new motor this year from Mike Pettit, and stuff has just been clicking for us. So we keep working toward it. We got a top 5 at the beginning of the year. And then, you know, now we got a 3rd place, so we just got to keep clicking it off, and hopefully that win's coming soon.
It's been a bit of an up and down season. Just sometimes things don't go your way. What's the key to more consistency?
I think just going throughout the week, you know, we haven't really taken ourselves out of races. You know, kind of mechanical problems have taken us out of races so far. You know, just double checking stuff during the week, you know, making sure that we got everything together, and you know, that's pretty much it. You know, hopefully we got all those gremlins off our back and we can stop those mechanical problems for the rest of the year. So.
Now, how do you change your approach, if at all, when you're competing up in the top 5 compared to, say, starting back in 10, 12, 14? Does it change at all for you?
Well, I'd say definitely if you're starting in the back a little bit, maybe like you said, 10th or 14th, you're definitely, you know, really like not wanting to, you know, especially those first few laps when stuff's kind of crazy, not wanting to push your stuff. And but if you're starting towards the front like we did last week, you know, you really have to push yourself early to get yourself up front and for the rest of the race.
50 laps today. What more do you need to find victory lane?
I think our car is really good on the long run, so I'm really excited for the extra 10 laps. Obviously, the Senator Cup is a huge deal. Obviously, it's one you want to win. So we're looking forward to it. You know, 50 laps, a little bit extra. You know, we did a couple of the Open 80s this year, so longer races, you know, kind of getting used to, but should be good. We're excited.
Have fun today.
Thank you. Absolutely.
That's Mikey Flynn looking to go back-to-back in the podium, maybe get his first career trip to victory lane in the SK Modifieds. Now we'll transition to the late models, where Kyle Rickey's standing by with one of our most recent podium finishers.
Bond's able to catch up with Paul Verrecchio coming off a 3rd place podium run last Friday night here at the Speedway. First off, how did it feel to run at the front, let some laps, and right there amongst the leaders for most of the race?
Car feels good. I mean, New car, new thing. It's awesome. It's awesome to be up front. Get out of antique. Get into a real race car.
Talk about the challenges of making that transformation, going from what you call an antique to a new race car, which happened, just a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, so I changed over 2 weeks ago, and first run out, we ended up having an issue with the right front. We ended up towing the car out in the heat race, and we never really got the car right. Came back, went back to the shop, found some bad parts, straightened out the parts, came back last week, and unfortunately I started second. I ran second for, 26 laps or 25 laps, and went to fourth and came back to third. So yeah, it was a fun experience.
Right up there toward the front, what would a win here at Stafford mean as somebody that's competed here for, better part of 2 decades?
Yeah, better part of 2 decades, been almost 20 years. 20 years since my last win, so in any division, even the go-karts. So yeah, it's been a little while.
What would it mean getting back to victory lane?
I mean everything, all the hard work. I show my son every week, dedication. My crews, they do everything with dedication, make sure that everything's all set. They try to keep me calm. I mean, I'm working not just on this car, I'm working on my rental cars too, so there's a lot of commitment here. And I'm just showing my kids that commitment actually makes you flourish in other aspects.
Best of luck to you here tonight.
Thank you.
Vecchio coming off a third-place effort last Friday night here in the late models, looking for his first win here in nearly 20 years. Bonds is able to catch up with somebody now in the pits, also coming off her best run in the SK Light Modifieds a week ago, and also looking for her first win in that division here tonight.
Kyle, it's been a tale of 2 Fridays for Meg Fuller and the SK Light Modified 2 team. 1 week, you get the name Monster Truck Meg. The next week, you get your first SK Light podium. What did that mean for you as a driver and team morale to finally get that first podium out of the way?
It definitely means a lot to us to be able to finally get it on the podium and show off all of our hard work. The week prior definitely sucked because we didn't get to finish the heat race or the feature, but we can't thank Keith enough for all the hard work that he puts into the car to have it back and just as good as it was the week before to be able to get a podium right after that.
Is it easier for you to remember the good races, or is it easier for you to remember those bad ones?
I like to remember myself as Dory. I don't remember a lot of stuff, but I feel like I definitely remember. I think I remember both. It's like a mixture. I can't remember like every detail of every race, but I think it evens out.
When you started up in 7th last week, you got through the pack really quick. When it comes to the track, how good is that outside line right now for this division?
For me, it's the outside line usually is pretty good. I think we've only had 1 week that the outside line didn't really work for us, but my dad told me no waiting last week, so I did exactly that.
So, here we are now. You got your first podium. What more do you need when you look back at the car last week? What more do you need to get 2 more spots in that first SK Light win?
I'm not too sure that we need much more. I think we have it in us. I think just last week we had a great battle with Barry, but that just put us that far back behind Chapman that him and I battling was just the show.
Have fun today.
Thank you.
That's Megan Fuller looking to continue in the right direction after a rough couple weeks. Now we're going to go to the limited late models where Kyle's standing by with our point leader.
Bonds able to catch up with limited late model championship contender Matt Clement. And Matt, you've had a great season. Podium finishes each week except for one with that 4th place run, but a lot of contact out there. Seems like a physical season for the limiteds out there. Kind of walk us through it from your seat.
No, to be honest, everybody else has been running pretty clean. I've just been a bonehead week after week here, just bouncing off of stuff. Last week, I think I only tagged 1 car, so, we're going in the right direction. The week before that, let's not talk about it. Kind of bounced off everything except the pace car, but looking forward to tonight. Back to 20 laps again, so I like the 20-lap races. That 30-lap race, a bit too long for me, but we'll try to keep it out of the wall tonight.
What's been some of the key to success for you with all those podium finishes and that 4th place run?
Oh, it's definitely not me behind the wheel because, with me bouncing off everything. No, it's just the setup. It's been super consistent. We haven't really made any major changes, a little stagger here, a little sway bar there, and our baseline setup really just keeping us in the ballpark, and, consistency is key, so we figured don't take any major swings at it until we really need to, so... Yeah.
As announcers, and as annoying as it can be, we talk about points from about week 1 because that's how we get our storylines. For a driver, is that something that you look at week to week, especially this stage of the season where we're only a handful of races in?
I mean, my standard answer would be no, I'm out there to win. But yeah, of course, I keep it in the back of my mind. But, you know, once you get out on the track, especially this early in the season, like you said, that kind of takes a back seat to, you know, just wanting to win, wanting to be competitive. So, you know, we'll talk about the points again a little bit later in the year. But with guys like Jeremy and Kevin and Rich in the field, I mean, there's a lot of competition out here, and we're all so close that, you know, I'm just looking to go out there and win. And if the wins keep coming, the points will keep coming.
Very competitive limited late model field here this season. Best of luck to you here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Matt Clement looking for you at another trip to Napa Victory Lane here later this evening. Let's talk to a driver now in contention for the Street Stock Championship with Monza.
Kyle, Travis Hyder has had quite an eventful few weeks. A win and a couple top fives, but the last 3 weeks, Travis, a lot has happened. This car has taken a beating, but in spite of all that, how has the speed been on the 11 car?
It's been pretty good, fairly consistent. Just, you know, unfortunately, the past couple weeks we've been, you know, running into a little bit of bad luck, but hopefully that's going to change for the better.
What was it like last week when you had to go through the grass as George Bissett Jr. hauls rubber at us? What was going through your mind going through the grass there, thinking you're probably in the clear, and then wham, you get hit from behind like that?
I didn't really know what happened because I thought I was clear, and then I got slammed into from the back, and I was like, what just happened? But yeah, the car kept going, and it didn't really affect too much, so I guess I got a little lucky in that aspect.
So you saw the battle last week at the end, and you joined that battle towards the end. When you look ahead to these next few weeks, after the battle we saw last week, what are you expecting tonight with the action?
I'm thinking that it's probably going to be a pretty action-packed race. There's a lot of cars getting faster, and fast cars go for good racing, so should be good.
What work had to be done to the car during the week, if any?
A lot of cosmetic stuff. Nothing too crazy. Just little stuff here and there.
Have fun tonight.
All right, I will. Thank you.
That's Travis Hyder looking to get win number 2 of 2023. Well, it's time to go racing. It's the Senators Cup headlined by the SK Modifieds with Kyle Rickey and Ben Dodge on the call.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little bit of a couple of spurts of rain, but everything dried out rather impressively. And we've just been informed by Tommy Fox that we are going to be moving things rather quickly. They've eliminated the drivers' meeting from out of the paddock area, and they are going to go directly into our qualifying round. So the order of this evening's program, unless it does change, and due to weather it might, is the limited late model heats are first, street stock heats will be second, late model heats will be third, limited late models are first, and then the SK light modifieds, and then of course the final cars to qualify for the Senators Cup are the SK modifieds. And then, of course, feature events will roll out after the traditional national anthem for the limited late models first, street stock feature second, late models third, and SK lights fourth, with SKs rounding out the field. Kyle Rickey, we have seen this season some of the closest competition in the history of Stafford Speedway in the SK modifieds, and especially in the SK lights. And we are well aware of the fact that the season isn't really getting heated up yet. And it will get heated up in a few minutes, but we are ready to commence and kick things off for this evening's race program. So bear with us and help us and work with us, please, if you would.
Yeah, it's going to be a big night of racing, Ben. The SK Modifieds, of course, headlined the night by the Senators Cup, an event that initially took place here back in the 1970s. Some prestigious drivers in the modified ranks back in that day picked up the wins in the first 11 or so years of the Senators Cup. It then went away for a bit, came back a few years ago, and will be the headline tonight for the SK Modifieds. Extra distance 50 laps. Going to be a great night for racing for them, along with the limited late models that roll out onto the racetrack. Ben said a moment ago we're going to get things rolling pretty quickly here. He wasn't kidding, as heat race number 1 is now on the Speedway. The first of 2 limited qualifying events. Starting on the pole will be car number 22, looking for some good luck here tonight from New Hartford, Connecticut, the day's cannabis-sponsored car. Our pole sitter is Gary Patnode.
to the outside of that row, it'll be the Devin Jensic machine, the Genco construction car from Canton, Connecticut for Devin Jensic, car number 23.
Inside row 2, car number 28, the reigning champion from Tolland, Connecticut, the Wheelers Auto Parts Napa Chevrolet for Rich Hammond.
Then we go to car number 19. He's a graduate from our street stock division from Plainville, Connecticut, driving the Susan Paradis CSB Communications car. It is Adrian Paradis III.
Fifth starter, car number 21 from Coventry, Connecticut, the GP Fence-sponsored Chevrolet for Kevin Crosby.
The big guy to watch in this one is going to be the guy that's starting on the outside of the third row. That is car number 59. You just saw him being interviewed in the paddock area. The Utility Services of New England car. Brian Clement owns the car, and Matt Clement sits behind the wheel from Wethersfield, Connecticut.
And rounding out the 7-car field, car number 42 from Durham, Connecticut, the Daddy-O Honey-sponsored car for Dana Ray. 7 cars, 8 laps, 5 to qualify. The scheduled distance here for the limited late models, the first of 2 qualifying events as they prepare for their feature event. That'll go 20 laps in distance later on this evening as the field comes off of turn number 4. 2 drivers that are looking for some good luck here tonight after some rough couple of weeks on the front row as we go under the green flag, Ben, for the first time tonight.
We certainly do, and it is a dogfight battle at the front of this field. Meanwhile, it is Gary Patnoe. He thought they found something in the race car during the off week. They spent hours and hours of adjusting, but right now the car at the point is Devin Jensic, car number 23 from Canton, Connecticut.
Devin had a big wreck a couple of weeks ago off turn 2, and then mechanical woes last week putting him out of the event, hopefully getting that car put back together in race-winning form here tonight. Right now, he is the race leader of this heat race. Rich Hammond up to third.
Rich Hammond, defending series champion here with car number 28, making his presence known. He moves into the third spot. Side-by-side battle. We told you that Matt Clement was going to be a factor, and he is. Meanwhile, the 28 of Rich Hammond is right there to the outside. Now it's changed a bit, coming off the second turn. Hammond sets in the third position, and then it is Clement up to 4, and Paradis will be setting in position number 5.
That's the way they run, and they have singled out the 21, also part of that traffic for Kevin Crosby, along with Dana Ray in the 42 on your screen now. Racing into turn number 1, the race for second. Hammond has caught Patnoe along with Clement, who's looking to follow him by on the inside lane. Third, fourth, fifth, and even sixth under a blanket now in turn number 4, coming to halfway.
As they work their magic off turn number 4, challenges there, and Clement tries to make his presence known down underneath the number 28 of Rich Hammond. Hammond guards the outside lane, and then Paradis moves into position number 4. That bumps back Patnoe to the 5th spot, but out in front is Devin Jensic, and he is literally gone at the front of this field.
All by himself at the point as they continue to race now for a second time by for the second spot. Now it's Matt Clement that goes to the inside for that position on Rich Hammond in the 28, who slides up high. Adrian Paradis in the 4th spot. The 22 goes next. Gary Patnoe rounding out the top 5. 2 laps to go this time for the limited late models in their opening qualifying event, and race leader Devin Jensic.
And remember, 5 is the magic number here. If you want to be in the preferred handicap spot for the main event, you must be among those top 5 cars. So count back, and it is at this particular point, Patnoe setting in the 5th position with car number 22. Off the turn, back to the line they come, making their presence known, and it is good racing wherever you look. In this one for second on back, but the leader, Devin Jensic, he is literally gone as Patnoe is in that final transfer spot, Kyle, and that is for position number 5.
That's the way they run up the back straightaway and into turn 3. Checkered flag will come out this time by off of turn number 4. Devin Jensic will be the race winner in heat race number 1 for the limited late models over Matt Clement in second. Rich Hammond in third. Adrian Paradis will round out the top 4.
Then we go to the final transfer for the handicap, Gary Patno, the number 22, Kevin Crosby, the 21, and Dana Ray in the 42. So the first qualifying round is now complete. Second qualifying event is coming on to the racetrack, and the lineup will look like this. Car number 20 will be starting at the point from New Salem, Massachusetts, the Doug's Home Improvements car. Doug Phelps owns the race car, and Christopher Phelps is the driver behind the wheel.
Outside of the front row, car number 17 from Canton, Connecticut, the RE Spray Foam Chevrolet for Connor Jensic.
Here's the kid that has a great deal of American pride, the Casa Grande Builders, DP Motorsports car, the red, white, and blue, number 87 from Willington, Connecticut, Damon Pillardi.
Outside of row number 2, car number 6, the former two-time champion of this division from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Lavoie Racing Ford for Jeremy Lavoie.
3 rows back to the inside, starting position number 5. It will be the Gendon Auto Parts, Garrett's carpentry car. Kurt Cormier owns the race car, and Kevin Cormier will drive car number 14 from Agawam, Mass.
6 starter, car number 82 from Harrisville, Rhode Island, the SRD Motorsports Chevrolet for Samantha Dell.
And starting scratch, car number 07 from Holland, Massachusetts, the Terra Martel machine, 5-star automotive car. It is Trinity Provost. That is the field for our second of our qualifying events for the limited late models. And unfortunately, it looks like Mother Nature is giving us a bit of a struggle again, and they're going to check the racing surface to make sure that the conditions are ideal and we can resume and get going. You know, there's an awful lot going on here at the Speedway, and we certainly hope that you will be joining us. On June 30th, it's the Mid-State Site Development Street Stock 30, an extra distance event for the street stock competitors. The SK Modifieds will be a part of it, the late models, the SK Lights, the limited late models, and they'll be joined by the street stock cars in a feature event. And then on July 7th, it is the GF Roofing Open Modified 80. And that will be taking place. The Open Modified Racing returns to Stafford for the 4th of 5 races during the 2023 season in 2 weeks. You don't want to miss this one. It's guaranteed to be a barn burner. The GF Roofing Open 80, Stafford's 5 weekly divisions, will be pre-qualified for the competition and be a part of the festivities as well. Kyle?
So we are in a holding pattern here, as it looks like some of the track tires that will help dry this racetrack, making a way onto the racetrack for the second time here in an hour. Worked wonders about an hour ago.
Sure did.
I feel like, Ben, we're in this weather pattern every week, the last 2 or 3 weeks. Remember, we were delayed about 15, 20 minutes last week or so for a very similar type shower where it never really rained. It was just a heavy mist, and apparently that might be the case again here tonight after one heat race. We are waiting out Mother Nature.
We sure are. And, of course, we are in qualifying for the limited late models, and we have been just informed that to set your attention on the screen, and we're going to be seeing a profile on Devin Jensic.
Hi, I'm Devin Jensic, and I'm from Canton, Connecticut.
They are side by side. Off the turn. They sway to the left, to the right. 9 laps up on the board. Brand new leader, Devin Jensic.
My dad's father used to do it. He used to race at Riverside Park, and we saw the opportunity at Silver City. And I won a couple championships there, a couple races. Then I moved up to the Bandoleros at Waterford. I did that for a season, and then moved into the Legend cars at Waterford. I saw this car for sale on Facebook, and we bought that, and then that's how my Stafford career started. It just brings me joy. It also calms me down a little bit. It's just focusing on one thing and really just that one thing and not having to worry about what's happening around you. Probably pretty aggressive, but like not too aggressive. So probably like a careful aggressiveness, I would say. Right now I am a line cook at Metrobees, and that is what I do basically. I like to cook, which is kind of why being a line cook fits me so well, because you can be creative and just experiment with a bunch of different things. I've actually recently started watching the 911 series on, I think it's Fox, and I really enjoy that, and it just shows how quickly your life can change, really, in a matter of a couple seconds. Probably either rap or hip-hop, really. Just something that you can kind of like relate to and vibe with is pretty pretty good to me. Probably the Porsche 911 GT3. That's really just a dream car of mine. Probably just all the people around and working together with everyone, especially your family. Coming together really as one team is pretty amazing, and being able to accomplish different things like winning and different things like that.
We're back here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and just a perfect example of the All-American kid next door in his presentation discussing his future as well as his career running here at Stafford. And he is a great young man with a bright future ahead. Want to be a line cook, which is very, very impressive. Let's go to the points. Matt Clement has a 2-point lead, believe it or not, just 2 points over Kevin Cormier with the number 14 car. Jeremy Lavoie, a multiple-time champion, is 8 points back in third. Rich Hammond, defending champion, is 28 points back in the fourth spot. Adrian Paradis is in the fifth position. He is 30 points back, and Damon Pilardi rounds out the top six. Connor Jensic is in the seventh spot. Eighth position is Gary Patno. Ninth position is Devin Jensic. And rounding out the top 10, it is Christopher Phelps. These are the rookies in that class: Adrian Paradis, Connor Jensic, and Christopher Phelps. On the top 10, just out of the top 10, Samantha Dell in the 11th spot. Scott Clement in the 13th position as a rookie. Pete Slavin is 14th. Matt Winters is a rookie in 15th. And Brian Norman is a rookie in this class with setting back in the 19th position. So there is kind of a little bit of a tease to get you up to date and ready. And you can see on our big screen the breakdown of the points and much, much more. So,
yeah, Devin, we just heard from Devin a moment ago, a multi-time winner here at the Speedway,
yes.
but not this season.
Yeah.
Started out the year strong, couple of top 10 runs, yet to crack the top 5, had that big incident while battling for the lead 2 weeks ago in the special Riley Electric 30 event for the limited late models. And then last week had mechanical issues right on the onset of the race, finished 17th in one of the bigger fields that we have had for that division. So he has lost a ton of ground here in recent weeks. And like we mentioned when he was out on the racetrack a little bit ago in his heat race, just trying to right the ship and get things pointed back in the right direction, because we know he is very capable at winning races. And we know that car's capable of winning races, but it's been a tough 2 or 3 weeks for that team.
You know, we also want to salute our sponsors, like the good folks from Napa Auto Parts, where Napa know-how is more than a phrase, it's a way of life. Call before you dig, 811. The Casella Waste Company had a fantastic night of racing here at the Speedway a week ago. Dunleavy Truck and Trailer Repair. GAF Roofing is the sponsors of bringing us the next of the Modified 80 events. And then, of course, Lincoln Tech. If you're looking for a career, no better place to go than Lincoln Tech. Mid-State Site Development is among the other sponsors for the program. Paradiso Insurance Company, American Signs, and Kaz Custom Interiors. Casella Waste Systems, Delta Arsenal, FloRacing, of course, and our official parts supplier in the paddock area, which is GRE6.com.
And just like that, Ben, and much like last week, and much like about an hour ago, we are set to get back at it with heat race number 2 for the limited late models. Quick delay as car number 20 will head out onto the racetrack as our pole sitter for this qualifying event from New Salem, Connecticut, the Doug's Home Improvement Chevrolet for Christopher Phelps.
Car number 17 is up next from Canton, driving the Airy Spray Foams car. It is Connor Jensic.
Third starter will be the 87 from Wellington, Connecticut, the Casa Grande Builders Chevrolet for Damian Pilardi.
Multiple champion, it is Jeremy Lavoie and Ken Lavoie's race car from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Rosati Trucking Company, number 6.
Fifth starter, car number 14 from Agawam, Massachusetts, the Gendon Auto Parts and Garrett's Carpentry entry for Kevin Cormier.
Car number 82 is up next. That's Samantha Dell out of Harrisville, Rhode Island, in the Scott Nordman-owned race car, the SRD Motorsports car.
And then it's the 07 from Holland, Massachusetts, the 5-star Automotive Chevrolet for Trinity Provost.
So there you have it, 2x2, and they're ready to get things kicked off. If you've just joined us, this is our second qualifying round. And following the conclusion of this, we will go into our street stocks, which will be 3 qualifying heats of 5 laps in distance with 5 cars to make the transfer. So this is the same story, 5 cars to make the transfer in the move up. We already know what happened in round number 1. Let's see what's going to happen in this second qualifying round. Pace car with wheel and lights off on top of the vehicle. They come off turn number 4. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. This is round number 2 for the limited late models. Back to the stripe they come, and getting a pretty good jump is Christopher Phelps, but Connor Jensic wastes no time at all. He runs to the outside. Connor moves to the outside lane, picks up the spot, and right behind him, Kyle, is the number 6 of course, our standard front runner, Jeremy Lavoie.
Well, Lavoie has it wound up in the outside lane, and that red and yellow numeral number 6 car takes the second spot and immediately cuts to the inside of Connor Jensic for the race lead as they go back to turn number 1. And just like that, new race leader off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. The 2-time champ of this division, Jeremy Lavoie, pacing the field.
Certainly is, and he's doing a good job of actually pulling away. Meanwhile, moving into the 3rd position is Kevin Cormier. Now, Cormier's got a rocket tonight. He takes a peek to the inside, can't get it done, pulls back into line, and a good run being turned in by Christopher Phelps. He's setting in the 4th spot and rounding out the top 5, and that is the top 5 positions that we all are well aware of. It's Damon Pilardi with car number 87.
Here comes Kevin Cormier back to the inside and back to the 2nd spot. Has been so strong. We talk about him week after week. Late last year, found success, found Napa victory lane in his first full season, and that success is carried over here into 2024 or 2023. Picking up a race win just a week ago in his 4th career win, 2nd of the season as they cross the line to complete another lap halfway home.
They certainly do. Half of the event is all but history. Now we've got a battle for the final transfer spot, but it still remains Pilardi to move back in to position number 4. That bumps the 20 of Christopher Phelps back to position number 5. As he rumbles back to the stripe, it is Jeremy Lavoie, still the leader of the pack. Quickest car on the racetrack is Jeremy Lavoie. Last circuit by 22.265.
Everybody spread out up the backstretch. No real battle for position among the top 5 or the 7 cars that are on the racetrack. It'll be 2 laps to go. Lavoie's been able to break away from Cormier for the top spot in turn. Same distance back to Connor Jensic, running all by himself in position number 3. Now less than 2 laps to go here in this second and final limited late model qualifying heat race.
Yes, there's no question about it. It's coming down to the wire with the white flag being issued by Mike on the starter stand as we have less than half a mile as they cross the stripe. This time, Jeremy Lavoie still in command. Kevin Cormier still setting in 2nd. Connor Jensic is still 3rd. Damon Pilardi is 4th. And Christopher Phelps, turning in one of his better qualifying run, sets in the top 5.
It'll be the checkered flag this time by off of turn number 4 for car number 6, Jeremy Lavoie, to win this qualifying race for the limited late models over Kevin Cormier in 2nd. Connor Jensic in 3rd, and Damian Pilardi will round out the top 4.
Finishing in the 5th spot and final transfer position is Christopher Phelps. Samantha Dell will finish in the 6th spot, and Trinity Provost will finish in position number 7. Coming up next should be our street stock division, as the heated point battle is getting stronger in that one. But we've had pretty much one car that dominated most of the racing action so far this season, and that of course is the Waterman car. So let's see what we get, as it looks like the pace car is going to pick them up. So Kyle, I think we can get into the starting lineup.
We'll jump into the starting lineup, and again, a great field of street stocks on hand tonight. 3 heat races strong. Car 15 will lead heat race number 1 to the green flag from Ware, Massachusetts. The Dustbuster Duct Cleaning Chevrolet for Sean Petlock.
Compressed Air USA brings us the Sal Calvo car from East Berlin, Connecticut. It is Sam Calvo, car 63.
3rd starter, car number 51 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Jet Electric Chevrolet for Burt Willett.
Then we go back to the outside of that row with car number 11. It is Travis Hydar of Woodbury, Connecticut, the Hydar Construction, Fred Hydar owned car.
Fifth starter, car number 67 from Uncasville, Connecticut, the Faith Construction Chevrolet for Aaron Plemons.
Then we go to the car number 18, which will be starting 6th in the grid. That is Cindy Sturck out of Naugatuck, Connecticut, driving the PS Engines car, the Bob Sturck Jr. owned car.
Car 17 will go to the inside of the next row from Canterbury, Connecticut. The Spafco race chassis sponsored car for Bill Porter.
And starting in the scratch starting spot is car number 71, Marvin Minkler from Stafford, Connecticut, in the Rico's Pizza car. Also, we want to make a change here. Car number 83 will be starting to the outside of the front row. That's the Marks Property Maintenance car. G. Perry, a former champion at Riverside Park Speedway, is the dad, and Ryan Perry is the rookie sitting behind the wheel.
And with that, we'll get the 1 to go signal and go green next time by for heat race number 1 for the street stocks. Travis Hydar, car number 11, has had an eventful couple of weeks, to say the least. The defending track champion, so strong each week. And now the caution comes back on, as it looks like Mother Nature has returned over the racetrack once again. So we'll take another lap or two and try to wait this one out before they pull the cars to the infield potentially. Keep them out there, try to keep as much heat in the surface as possible.
Well, the one plus that we have with these particular race cars is their tires are not slicks. They actually have grooves on them, and that will make it a little bit easier to keep things dry, and it'll give them the opportunity to also show that they can run under ideal conditions here at the Speedway, as well as under a situation like we're faced with tonight, as a little bit of, we call it spritzing, that is taking place, and lights still remain on the pace car. The point standings, Ryan Waterman with car 31 is leading by 16 points over defending series champion Travis Hydar in second. And then Jason Lafayette, the 21 car, is 24 points back in third. Johnny Walker, car number 1, another former champion, 26 points off in fourth. And Bert Ouellette, who's had a pretty good start to this season, rounds out the top 5, 26 points back. And then the first rookie is Ryan Perry, car number 83. He is 6th in the points. And then Travis Downey is 7th. Jason Raymond, a second rookie, is in the 8th spot. Tyler Trott is in the 9th position, and Aaron Plemons, another rookie, is in the 10th spot. So that's how they run in the top 10 positions.
They're going to single the cars out, and the pace car is kind of tiptoeing away from everybody right now. But Bert Ouellette, you have the 11 up there for Travis Hydar. And try to keep as much heat in the surface as possible. And then to do that, they'll single the field out. Ryan Perry in the 83. And it's one of those clouds that has come over the racetrack, doesn't even show up on the radar.
Oh, you're right, Kyle. It's
which is sometimes more frustrating.
It is. I agree with you on that. So hopefully we will be able to continue with this and get things well underway in just a few short moments. Just joined us, our food concession stands are open. The double hook area, the patio area is open, and it's a great place to watch the races from as you purchase your adult beverage. And that is located just coming off turn number 4. So if you want to, head on over there and get yourself something nice and cold and frosty to drink for this evening's presentation. The ice cream stand is open. The popcorn stand is open. My girls directly underneath Broadcast Central that have the sausage, peppers, and onions.
They hook you up.
Yes, they do. And they are in store for this evening's event. Delicious, fresh, prepared just the way you like them. You can smell them from Broadcast Central here. So there's a lot going on in the Midway. Further down, additional stops. Wherever you might like to go to check things out, we invite you to do so. There's some displays. Lincoln Tech has their display next to the popcorn and ice cream stand.
Going to go green this time. Field has been given the 1 to go signal. Lights off around the racetrack. Pace car on pit road. Ryan Perry to lead the field off of turn number 4, and the start of this qualifying event for the street stocks as we are underway with Burt Willett to his outside.
And Burt Willett is really doing a very good job in the upper lane in less than one turn at the racetrack. He's to the outside of Perry, and now they are grouped together. 4 cars running nose to tail on the inside lane and the outside lane. Meanwhile, while that is happening, who is in position number 5? But right now, to lead lap number 1, it is Burt Willett. And setting back behind him in the 5th position, looks like Bill Porter with that number 17 car. He's doing a pretty good job tonight as well.
Yeah, Porter all by himself now on the Speedway, able to keep that car in front of Sean Petlock and Marvin Minkler, along with Cindy Sturck. They've singled out toward the back, but at the front of the field, they are side by side for the top spot, as at the line, new leader Aaron Plemons goes to the front by about a half a car length. Burt Willett stuck in that outside lane will lose the second spot to Travis Haidar, or will he? As the 11 had a good look, Willett had that 51 wound up in the outside lane. That high side momentum allowed him to hang on to the runner-up spot.
Sure did, as they crossed the stripe at this time. There's a 2-lap marker to go. 1 mile left in the competition. It is Aaron Plemons out front. Burt Willett still in second. Travis Haidar is third. Ryan Perry dropped back to 4th, and Bill Porter will set in the number 5 position. Here they come. White flag. Final circuit, Kyle. Looks pretty settled in for this one.
All behind Aaron Plemons, the race leader. Burt Willett in second. Travis Haidar trying to close in, but may run out of time. He's that yellow and purple number 11, and then they have been able to really break away from Ryan Perry in the 4th spot. Good battle for 5th between Porter and Petlock.
Here is the checker. They come off the turn. Aaron Plemons will take down the win. Burt Willett will finish in second. Travis Haidar to finish in third. Good run for the rookie. Ryan Perry to finish in 4th, and Bill Porter will finish in the top 5.
Then it was Sean Petlock, Marvin Minkler, and Cindy Sturck rounding out the 8-car field, as heat race number 1 is in the books. Heat number 2 is going to roll out onto the racetrack here in just a moment. Scheduled to lead the field to green, car number 37 from Columbia, Connecticut. The Charlie's Towing Chevrolet will bring us to the green flag, the 37, driven by David Macia Sr.
Outside of the front row, it's the All-Star Duck Solutions machine. Connor Aslan is the owner of the car from Granby, Massachusetts. Car number 7 for Jeff Aslan.
Third starter, car 42 from Barkhamsted, Connecticut. The P.J. Ladola & Sons Electrical Contractors entry for Travis Downey.
In the 4th starting spot, it's the Moose Hill Lock Camping Resorts machine. Johnny Walker not only owns the car, but he drives it. He's a former champion from Agawam, Massachusetts. Car number 01.
Winner of the first 4 of the 5 races this season, car number 31 goes next from Danielson, Connecticut. The Fairway Mortgage and Mike Rogers team entry for Ryan Waterman.
Stafford Veterinary Centers brings us the Bob Sears owned car. From Stafford Springs, Connecticut, it is Rob Sears with car number 44.
Inside of the final row, starting in 7th, car 63 from East Berlin, Connecticut, the Compressed Air USA Chevrolet for Sam Calvo.
Then it's the Anytime Nutrition's car, the Brandon Warren-owned car from Chicopee, Massachusetts. It is Brandon Warren with car number 55.
So that is the lineup. Again, another 5 cars and the top 5 to qualify into the feature through the handicap, which is where you want to be to get those preferred starting spots here later this evening. We talked about Ryan Waterman, the dominant factor so far. All 4 of his career wins here at Stafford have come this season. Picked up his first win on Napa Spring Sizzler weekend. Won again on the opening Friday night. Travis Haidar snuck in there to pick up a win on May 26th. And then it's been Ryan again the last 2 weeks, including a thriller last week right down to the checkered flag.
It certainly was. The field is doubled up in 2x2. Remember, 5 is the magic number. We have 1 more qualifying round to follow this group in the street stock division as they rumble down the back straightaway. Lights are off on the safety vehicle from Whelen Engineering. Watch for the pace car to dive to the center of the infield, and here we go. Off turn 4, a little bit of a change in the lineup up front.
Put Jeff Aslan on the pole as they come off of turn number 4. Travis Downey to his outside. Here comes Johnny Walker in the 01. to immediately challenge for that runner-up position. With the 31 there, Waterman tightly bunched. Top 4 make their way up the backstretch.
Keep your eyes on Waterman in that black number 31 car. He has the magic to be able to put that car just about anywhere where he wants to. Same can be said for Johnny Walker, car number 01. He moves to the back bumper of the number 7 car. As they rumble down, Jeff Aslan still the leader of the pack. Here comes Walker, and here comes Waterman. Waterman makes a bold bid to the inside for position number 2.
Yeah, Sam Calvo wants to join the fun in car number 63 to make it a 5-way race up front. Walker to the outside of Aslan. Here comes Waterman in the 31 car to the inside of Walker. Best seat in the house, car number 42 for Travis Downey, right there in position number 4. Waterman nearly, and he is in the infield grass in turn number 1. Dirt went flying. He lost a little bit of some of that forward momentum and had to settle back in the line in second.
Here they come off turn number 4. Twirling 2s are in the air, and that means that we have 2 circuits to go. And just as we say that, Waterman takes over the number 1 position. Waterman is the new leader. Jeff Aslan settles back in the second. Walker back in the 3rd spot. Travis Downey for 4th. And Sam Calvo sets in position number 5. Here's the white flag, Kyle. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go, and a very familiar face at the point in Ryan Waterman as they come back off of turn number 4. White flag into the final lap with Jeff Aslan in second, Johnny Walker in 3rd, Travis Downey in 4th, all unchallenged. Calvo's in a good race with Brandon Warren for 5th into turn 3.
They come off turn number 4. Once again, back down to the line as the checkered flag is out. Ryan Waterman looking racy again. Second is Jeff Aslan. 3rd position is Johnny Walker. 4th position is Travis Downey, and rounding out the top 5 is Sam Calvo.
Behind Calvo in 5th, you had Brandon Warren in 6th, David Mesha Sr. in 7th, and Rob Sears completing the 8-car field. So heat race 2 in the books, and a 3rd heat race will roll out onto the racetrack here in just a moment, we anticipate. Part of a huge field of street stocks on hand with us here tonight. Over 20 will take the green flag in the feature event. All chasing Ryan Waterman in car number 31, who just won his heat race and has won a majority of the features so far this season. Here comes the 3rd heat race as we speak out the back gate. On pole, car number 49 from Somers, Connecticut. The Tile Chief Floor and Wall Coverings sponsored car, the 49, driven by Jason Raymond.
Then alongside, it'll be the Backroads Smokin' Barbecue Machine. Jason Trott owns the car from East Hartford, Connecticut. Car number 80 for Tyler Trott.
3rd starter, car number 21 from Somers, Connecticut. The Tri-State Equipment Repair LLC Chevrolet for Jason Lafayette.
Outside of that row, it'll be car number 94 for Chris Danielchuk out of Goshen, Connecticut. The New York Sports Show car, the Rent-A-Race car.
5th starter, car number 46 from Manchester, Connecticut. The Finkbine Landscaping Chevrolet for Jason Finkbine.
Then car number 36 is up next from Columbia, Connecticut, the Masha Landscaping car. Stacy Masha owns the car, and David Masha Jr. sets behind the wheel.
And scheduled behind the wheel of car number 38 tonight will be Brent Gleason. First time back here at the racetrack in a number of years, and he will drive the number 38 machine here this evening in the street stock class. So good to see Brent back here at the racetrack as we get set to go green next time by.
Sure do, and the field crosses over, doubles up, and gets ready for this, the final qualifying round for our street stock division. Coming up following the completion of this is the late model qualifying heats. And after we get through with the late models, which will be consisting of 2 qualifying rounds, we will go to the SK Light Modifieds, which is the biggest field of the night.
Yeah, 4 heat races and over 33, 34 cars, I believe, on property here tonight. So huge field for the SK Lights once again, and another good field, 3 heat races strong for the SK Modifieds to qualify in for their Senators Cup 50-lap feature later tonight. Pace car is in. Heat race number 3 for the street stocks comes off of turn number 4. Green is up, and we are underway with Raymond and Trott on the front row.
Certainly is, and Trott looks like he has a slight advantage to the outside, and it is suddenly changing, rather drastically changing down the back straightaway. Danielchuk has moved to the front of this field with car number 94. He's setting in the 2nd position. He's really come to life this season early so far. And that bumps back into the third position. It is Jason Raymond. Jason Lafayette, the 21, is fourth. And Jason Finkbein sets in position number 5.
That's the way they run, and they are tightly bunched from third on back. Raymond has it, but here comes Finkbein to the inside, and around goes Raymond up the back straightaway through the grass in turn number 3. Does a complete 360 and trying to do a second, and falls to the tail end of the field as we keep it under the green flag for now with Tyler Trott leading into turn number 2. Raymond continues on. More than a half a lap behind the leaders as they'll complete lap number 3 this time by for Tyler Trott, the race leader.
Well, there's no question Tyler Trott's got a commanding lead. His lap times are the quickest on the racetrack, which is a time of 23.288. So he's got the field kind of covered. Daniel Chuck doing a great job here, setting in the second spot, and now starting to reel him in is Jason Finkbein. Finkbein closing up the gap on Daniel Chuck rather rapidly, we might say, as he comes off turn number 4. White flag is out. What do you think, Kyle? Can he do it in the final circuit?
Well, he looks good right now, but a little too far behind Tyler Trott, the race leader. Trott all by himself at the point. Good race for second. Daniel Chuck and Finkbein, second and third, just in front of Jason Lafayette, running unchallenged in fourth. Checkered flag this time off of turn number 4, and Tyler Trott will win Street Stock Heat Race number 3 as they cross the stripe. It is Trott by about 2 seconds over Chris Danielchuk in second, Jason Finkbein in third, and Jason Lafayette rounding out the front half of the field.
Brett Gleason will set back in the 5th and final transfer spots. And then it'll be David Masha with the number 36 machine, and Jason Raymond with car 49 will pick up at the rear of the field. The number of cars to transfer in that event was 7 for their handicap as well. So a little bit different procedures, and a lot of this has to do with weather conditions and so forth. So next, it looks like we're going to be going to
keep the fender theme rolling with the late models, I believe, is what is next on the racetrack, as we'll take a look at a replay of the incident that happened on the back straightaway to send Jason Raymond spinning to the infield. Finkbein had a good look to the inside. Raymond's car looked like the back end started to fishtail on him halfway down the backstretch, and it finally hooked going into turn number 3 after some contact with Finkbein. Thankfully, no damage, if any, and he was able to continue on, and we finished that race under the green. Let's jump into the starting lineup here for the late models in heat race number 1.
Looks like our late model division is rumbling onto the racetrack, and car number 2 will be starting at the point. That's Dwayne Knoll out of Monroe, Connecticut, in the Green Knolls landscaping car.
Outside of the front row, car 61 from North Haven, Connecticut, the Blake Company Chevrolet. Car 61 is John Blake.
Row number 2 to the inside, it is car number 89 for Zach Robinson out of Putnam, Connecticut, the Dwayne Knoll Green Knoll landscaping car.
Fourth starter, car 23 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Levine Law Chevrolet for Kevin Gambacorda.
Meyer's Crazy Hollow Creamery is the next car in the lineup. Joe Meyer owns the car from North Franklin, Connecticut. Chris Meyer sets behind the wheel of the 87.
Car number 92 is next from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, the King Gray Coachline Chevrolet for Tom Fern.
This was a big winner a week ago, the Square Peg Pizzeria car. John Butler owns the car from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, one of the all-time great late model drivers. It is Tommy Butler.
Eighth starter, car number 43 from Chicopee, Massachusetts, the Payless Auto Glass Chevrolet for Andrew Durand.
Then it is car number 69, the Ceriello Motorsports car. Patricia Santos owns the car. From Reading, Massachusetts, it is Richard Ceriello, car number 69.
And with that, the pace car is in. We will go green this time by heat race number 1 for the late models. Off of turn number 4, there's the green. We are underway. Dwayne Knoll to the inside lane. John Blake to the outside lane as they battle into turn number 1. Keeping an eye on the former champion in the outside lane and one of the winningest driver in this division, that orange number 92, that is Tom Fern, currently outside of the top 5 in a race for position with last week's winner. Good to see Tom Butler back in victory lane last Friday night.
Certainly is, and never count out Gambacorda. We talk about Tom Fern being an impressive driver. Gambacorda is the same. Now remember, in this event, 7 is the transfer. So that's exactly what you need to be if you want to start in the preferred starting spot at the front of the field. Back off turn number 4, good side-by-side battle, shaping up for the 3rd and the 4th position. Chris Myers is in the 3rd spot, Wayne Knoll in the 4th spot, Kevin Gimbalcarta.
And Fern goes around off, looked like he may have had a little help there from the 43 of Andrew Durand.
We will see exactly, hopefully we got a shot of that. So very seldom do you see Tommy Fern go around in a qualifying event especially, so heartbreaker there for him, but he will watch. He'll come back to the front of the field because 2 of the 8 laps are now complete and into the record books.
Better, I guess, in the heat race than in the feature later tonight, and he has time to move back into a transfer spot into the handicap with still 6 laps remaining in this event. And Durand going by to the outside of Fern, who may have said hello to the driver of car number 43 and might say hello again up the back straightaway. For Tom, who is a 62-time winner in this division, the all-time winningest driver in the late models here at the Speedway.
And it appears that John Blake is the man up front. John Blake, last year, he admitted he struggled quite a bit with that race car. It was not exactly what he anticipated, but during the winter, he went through it from front bumper to rear bumper, and he felt confident coming back to Stafford this year he was going to be a factor. And I think he has been, to be honest with you, Kyle. And then, of course, Zach Robinson. Great story surrounding Zach Robinson. He was not going to race this season when all of a sudden the situation changed for him with just something as simple as a phone call. And the Green Knoll Landscaping, Dwayne Knoll Group, said, well, you're too talented of a driver to be sitting on the sidelines.
Zach Robinson picked up a win here 2 years ago, still looking for his first this season as we get a look and see what happened in turn number 1 to prompt this caution flag. Durand to the inside of Fern, contact was made and
just snapped around on him, Kyle, it looked like. No contact was made. Something just kind of loosened up rather quickly. But amazingly enough, he did not lose that many positions as we're about ready to go back to green for this one. So he still is in the thick of things because right now as we speak, he is in, well, 1 out of a transfer spot, for 7 being the magic number of the handicap.
Still 6 laps to go, though, so plenty of time for that 92 car to get back into contention, and you know he will. Inside lane doesn't come up to speed. Blake, Meyer, among others. Gimbalcarta stuck on the bottom going into turn number 1.
We go to yellow, so apparently our race director did not like the situation as it occurred, and the guy in the front row did not like it either. So therefore, we'll try it all over again and get ready to get it all dialed in off turn number 4. Here they come. Repeat performance. Encore in the front row. A lot better that time than the last time.
And it's Blake that'll lead him to turn number 1. Robinson in second. Meyer now will take the 3rd spot away from Dwayne Knoll, who is backsliding in the outside. Back to now 5th as Gimbalcarta in that red number 23 goes by to the bottom. Bid for the leadoff of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1.
Trouble now. John Blake got a little bit loose. And as he got loose, the 89 of Zach Robinson puts the move on him. Robinson challenges to the inside. While that has been happening, Chris Myers is up to the 3rd spot. He's not going to be happy with that. He's going for 2nd. What about Tommy Fern? He is into the top 5. Butler is in the 6th position. And the 7th spot is a dogfight battle between Durand and it looks like the number 2 car of Dwayne Knoll.
Yeah, Durand also on the recovery after his involvement with the spin with Tom Fern a few laps ago. He was put to the back for the restart in the 43. He now sits just outside of the top 5, just behind Tom Butler in car number 4, and now to the inside of Knoll, or make that Blake in the 61 as they cross the stripe in a race from 6th on back. Top 5 is singled out. Zach Robinson is the race leader as they make their way up the back straightaway. Chris Meyer in 2nd, Gimbalcarta and Tom Fern making his way back up through the front.
Yep. And then Tommy Butler in the 5th spot. John Blake drops back to position number 6, and Andrew Duran is setting in 7th, but Andrew Duran just moved into the 6th position just as we were about ready to call that. So 6 of the 8 laps are now complete, and things are getting settled in rather nicely. But Fern's problem is suddenly been fixed for him because he's coming back to the front with a vengeance.
He is up to 4th, all over the back bumper of Kevin Gambacorta for position number 3. White flag is up. 1 lap to go, less than that now as they race up the back stretch for the final time. Zach Robinson leads the way in car number 89.
Off turn number 4, here comes Zach Robinson. And right there behind him is Chris Myers. Finishing in the 3rd spot is Kevin Gambacorta. Tom Fern, great comeback to finish in 4th. Tommy Butler to round out the top 5.
Then it was Andrew Duran in the 6th spot, John Blake 7th, Dwayne Nolan 8th, and Richard Ceriolo rounding out the 9-car field. So Heat 1 in the books.
And let's go to qualifying round number 2. And it looks like starting at the point in this one is going to be car number 9 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, the A6A Associates car. Bob Sturck owns the car. And of course, it is Bob Sturck III.
Car number 42 will start to the outside of the front row from Durham, Connecticut, the DMW Graphics Chevrolet for Michael Ray.
And then it's Tavern on the Tracks, bringing us car number 39 from Berlin, Connecticut, Paul Verrecchio Jr., starting the inside of the second row.
4th starter, car number 10 from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Springfield Thunderbirds to provide the sponsorship for Wayne Corey Jr.
Broadbrook Brewing Company brings us car number 12 from Hamden, Massachusetts. Stu Fern, her dad, owns the car. And Alexandra Fern is the lady that sits behind the wheel.
6th starter, car number 79 from Enfield, Connecticut, the Big Kahuna Racing and Jarmark Farm entry for Daryl Keene.
Car number 97 is up next. That is Adam Gray, another former multi-champion. In the Meadow Motors car, Barry Gray-owned car, it is Adam Gray starting back in 7th.
8th starter, it's the 00 from Pawcatuck, Connecticut, Pawcatuck, Connecticut, that is, the Northeast Sheet Metal Chevrolet for Jacob Perry.
Erasable Images Power Washing brings us car number 99 from Norwich, Connecticut. Scott Cook owns the car, and Chase Cook is said to be sitting behind the wheel for tonight's event.
And that'll do the starting lineup for heat race number 2. It's been a very competitive year for this division. 5 races and 5 different winners. Tom Fern, Ryan Fern, Adam Gray, Andrew Durand, and Tom Butler have all won so far this season. And for Tom Butler, it was his first win since the 2016 season. Longtime competitor here at the Speedway, the driver of car number 4. Picked up his first win here back in May of 1993. So he's been around in and out of the racetrack over the years, not competing full-time in all of those seasons. But it was good to see Turbo Tom in victory lane a week ago. We'll see if they can go 6 for 6 here later tonight. An extra parade and pace lap has been added. We'll tighten the field up this time by and look for a green flag 1 lap from right now.
Lights still remain on the safety vehicle at the point. So car number 39 in our opening, Paul Verrecchio did a great interview discussing what makes this team different for 2023, and that is simply the fact that everybody on it clicked. They have a different race car than they've had in the past, and it shows, it works. And then Wayne Corey Jr. said, I had to replace more panels last week than any other week that I've run this season. He says it's been a very, very interesting year so far.
Called the old car an antique compared to the new car that he debuted here a couple of weeks ago. Ended up on the podium last Friday night. Green is up for this heat race, and it's Michael Ray to lead the field into turn number 1 with Verrecchio to his outside in that 39 entry. Here comes Corey to the inside in the 10. Alexandra Fern in the 12, also looking to improve and look for her first podium of the season here in the late. We'll make that her second podium of the season here in the late models after a second place effort 2 weeks ago.
Good battle in side-by-side racing for the 3rd spot. It is Daryl Keene with car number 79 and Paul Verrecchio with the number 39 in a side-by-side quest. Then Alexandra Fern moves in, and she will challenge on the outside as another challenge is taking place at the front of the field.
Verrecchio in the outside lane, Fern in that pack of traffic. Here comes Adam Gray to the inside in a battle for 5th. Gray in the 97, the defending track champion, looking to make his way toward the front, and he is doing just that. Jacob Perry, next car ahead in the 00. At the front, still about a car length between the top two. Michael Ray, the race leader, in the 42. Wayne Corey Jr. in car number 10.
Then it's Daryl Keene setting in the 3rd spot. Jacob Perry in the 4th position. And Adam Gray, who had a terrible night last Friday, he is up to position number 5. Paul Verrecchio drops back to 6th. Alexander Fern is in 7th. Bobby Sturck is in 8th. And Scott Cook rounds out the top 9.
Back to turn number 1. They are halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go. Scott Cook about a half a track behind, making his first start of the season in for Chase as they go to turn number 3, and they are beginning to get tighter among the top 7. Ray the leader, Corey in 2nd. Here comes Daryl Keene, been quiet so far in this heat race in car number 79. To pull away from Perry in 4th, and they're doing just that. There on your screen, 1, 2, 3, up the back straightaway, coming to the final couple laps.
Certainly are, and it is still not over with yet by any stretch of the imagination. Here's the twirling 2s. 2 circuits, 1 mile left in this one. Michael Ray is the star of the show. Wayne Corey Jr. is in 2nd, and he is trying desperately to shake off Daryl Keene in the 3rd spot. Jacob Perry, who's had a pretty good run on a couple of occasions, but has been unable to close the deal, very sadly. But tonight could be the night.
White flag, 1 lap to go, and it is Ray at the point. No change among the top 3, and Perry still 4th. Good battle for 5th. Verrecchio had a peek to the inside of Gray for that position. Gray was able to maintain the spot as they go to turn number 3. Checkered flag is out. Late model qualifying heat race number 2 is in the books.
Sure is, and Michael Ray will take down the win. Wayne Corey Jr. to finish in 2nd. Daryl Keene to finish in the 3rd spot. And then it's Jacob Perry for 4th. Adam Gray to finish in 5. Paul Verrecchio to finish in 6th.
Alexander Fern in 7th. Bobby Sturck 8th. And Scott Cook rounding out the 9-car starting field in heat race number 1, or make that 2 for the late models, as their now feature starting lineup is set here for the night.
And coming up next is 4 qualifying rounds in the largest field of the night. That, of course, is the SK Light division. So, Kyle, we're in for a real treat in this one because we've got some very strong cars. You couldn't pick an odds-on favorite, I'll tell you that.
No, there's a ton of great cars, and we have seen, you mentioned earlier, all the close finishes that we have seen so far this season. Less than a second, I think, the margin among all the races added together. So it's been a great year for the SK Lights as they roll out onto the racetrack. Car number 33 will lead the field to the green flag from Windham, Connecticut. The advanced sewer and drain sponsored car for our pole sitter, Haley DeZonia.
On the outside of that front row from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Russell Madison Ferrari lawn and landscaping car for Casey Voigt.
3rd starter, car number 51 from Norwich, Connecticut, the SAB Tree Expert sponsored car for Matt Brewer.
And then we go to the number 42 outside of the 2nd row, and that, of course, is Stephen Koglanis in from New Hartford, Connecticut, driving the Joining Technology car.
5th starter, the 09 from Westbrook, Connecticut, the Foxwoods Resort Casino sponsoring Cassandra Cole.
Car number 7 is up next. This is a different car, by the way, for Alexander Pearl out of Salem, Connecticut, in the Darling Auto Parts machine, the Jeff Pearl race car.
7th starter, car number 41 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Chapman Apartment Home sponsored car for Tyler Chapman.
Then we go to car number 52. That is, of course, the Anthony Farino car out of Waterbury, Connecticut, the Fran Farino Michael Jervis Jr. car, the Pettit Race Engines car.
And rounding out the field, car number 74 from Grainville, Massachusetts, the SK Property Maintenance entry for Brandon Michael.
So there you have it. This is the first of the qualifying rounds. 4 into the record books.
Haley DeZonia to lead the field to green, this time by in car number 33, sophomore competitor here at the racetrack in her 2nd full season. in an SK Light Modified after finding so much success in quarter midgets over the years. Green is out, we're underway, and it's Casey Vogt to get the jump into turn number 1 by about a half a car length or so, but Haley battles back onto the bottom. Brewer goes 3 wide for the race lead.
Impressive shot to the inside. 3 wide, it still stacks up. They come off the turn, 1 car way up high in a quest to take over the 3rd position, gets shuffled further back, and that, of course, is the 42 machine of Steven Koglanis. Off the turn, down the back straightaway. Here they come again. Battle is for second. Cassandra Cole. She's really shown some great improvement in 2023. And Cassandra Cole now settles into second, Kyle, with that white neon green car. And look behind her. Here comes the number 51 of Matt Brewer, Alexander Pearl, Haley Jazanis.
Lap shy of the halfway mark, that is. Pearl stepping out of line in car 7. Here's the 41 for Tyler Chapman, looking to the inside. Moved around Cassandra Cole a lap ago for second, and now looks to the inside of Vogt for the race lead. Vogt strong in the outside. Chapman stronger on the bottom in car 41. New race leader and last week's winner in the feature event goes to the point here in this qualifying heat race.
Sure does, but it's not over with yet. All of a sudden, Pearl has moved in. Alexander Pearl into the 4th position. Meanwhile, back up front, Cassandra Cole setting in the 3rd spot, nipping at the back bumper of Casey Vogt with the number 75 machine. Good racing there for the top 4.
Kalagianis in the 5th spot. And then a good battle for 6. Brewer to the outside of Brandon Michael, as you see the top 3. Make that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the racetrack. And Pearl stepping out of line, but can't make a move on Cassandra Cole.
Trying everything, though, to get the job done. Here comes Pearl. He takes a peek to the inside of Cassandra Cole. It doesn't work. By the time they get to turn number 3, he's settled back in. White flag is out. 1 lap to go.
For Tyler Chapman, car number 41, the race leader. Vogt in the 2nd spot. Cassandra Cole in 3rd. She's got a little bit of pressure to her inside in the form of car number 7, Alex Pearl.
This is the one that's going to count the most as the checkered flag is waving for Mike on the starter stand. Tyler Chapman is going to take down the win. Casey Vogt, great finish for 2nd. Cassandra Cole, same place as the 3rd. Alexander Pearl will finish in the 4th spot. Steven Koglanis will finish in position number 5.
Matt Brewer crossing the line in 6th. Then it was Brandon Michael in 7th, Haley DeZonia in 8th, and Anthony Farino rounding out the top 9. As we want to thank all of our viewers on our live YouTube stream to open us up here tonight. A little bit of a sneak peek on all the action taking place here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. If you want to tune into the rest of the event, including the 50-lap Senators Cup feature later tonight for the SK Modifieds, you can tune us in, as always, and every week on FloRacing.